So just wanted to take a couple of minutes and talk about how my ride ended up the other day that I got so bruised up. So where this video starts would be like, it's number 2. It starts where you see me drop the bike. And the reason that the bike dropped right there in that little spot. It just come up over the hill and I put the brakes on, but I didn't have it in off-road mode, and the ABS kind of interfered, and I was in deep sand there, and the bike is still just a little bit tall for me. It's not like the Harley where your legs are down easy. These bikes are a little bit taller. I had it lowered somewhat, but anyway, when I lost the control of the bike there, it just slid and it dropped over. So it was no big deal. Just reach over, put the kickstand down, and put it up. So as I went further into another spot, I dropped the bike in rough ground. And I started to realize that I wasn't on the DRZ, the dirt bike, the 400 that I had. That would power through everything. This is a fairly heavy bike. And maybe I had some thoughts that I could handle it in there, no problem. But some of it was a little bit above what I was comfortable with. So the next phase, I kind of the third time, I lost my nerve a little bit. So I thought I would walk the bike down. And it was just kicking the front tire all over the place. Grabbing you can't use the rear brake because that's on the other side down. You're using the front brake. So that was causing me problems. And I got it down out of there. And then there was another couple of places halfway up a hill I dropped it. And I didn't have the energy to get back up on it and power out of it and take off. So I was spinning it and rutching it, and I had my feet down, dabbing, they call it, dab, from side to side. So it had me pretty well wore out. The last one, the one that I'm probably quite happy that it wasn't on video. And it was a big, nasty hill, a lot of exposed rock. And I was running up it hard, and I was almost to the top. And right in the middle on the top was a rock sitting there about the size of a basketball. And it was sitting right there. And I'm staring right at it, which is what you don't do. Stare it away. But I'm staring at it. And the front tire hit that, stopped that bike dead, spun the rear end around, sent the bike flying, on its side into the ditch. And I'm just taken right off of the bike. I'm down on the ground and I'm sliding, and I went 8 or 9 feet, something like that. And I knew I hit my hip hard. I could feel it. But I had real good gear on, good helmet, good boots, super good boots. Never hurt anything. But didn't have the padding in the pants that I should have had. And I wouldn't have felt a thing if I took the knee pads out last year. I just didn't like them the way they were. So that was a hard hit. It beat the bike up a little bit, just a small bracket after I looked at it, but it beat me up a little bit more. So I'm probably glad that I didn't have that on video, because it was pretty brutal. But, that's part of what this is, and if you're going to do it, you got to have the right gear, you got to have the right training, and you got to have the right mindset. And I was probably a little off on all of those. Anyway, enjoy it.
Oh, fuck. Well, that was an episode. I was over on the old side where there's no truck traffic. Like, there's still logging activity on this road, and you see the road's in pretty good condition. Lots of tire tracks. So it's good and hard and stable. And this is where I probably should have started my practice, but I, been away from it for a little bit. So I was over on the other side, and there's no truck traffic there. Through the middle, on the outer end, when I come off the highway, there is. But when you get in that middle section, there's no truck traffic there, nothing. So it was all washouts and really, really deep sand. So I took one spill. I said, well, okay, it's not a big deal. Then I come up another hard wash, took another spill. I kind of broke a little piece on the bike, just guarding, that kind of stuff. So then I started to lose my nerve a little bit. And there was one piece I said, well, I'm going to walk the bike down here. I'm just not beating myself up like that anymore. So I walked it down, and walking it down, I dropped it. I was so tired, so wore out. So I thought, no, this is not the way to do it. I got to get on it. I got to go. So probably the worst hill that was there, and I come up, and I was nervous. And I was standing up, leaning back, so I was getting that jerky throttle feel, and it got right to the very top. Right to the top. And there was a good-sized rock right in the middle of the road, and I hit it. And it stopped the front of the bike dead, shot the arse end around, and threw me backwards. And I know right now that I got one hell of a bruise on my hip. So it took me a little bit to get out of that mess again. Now that's kind of 4 hard romps today. So the lesson there is that, I guess trail knowledge, that was everything up north. You got feedback from everybody. But here, I just went in. And the deep sand, just really, really deep. And these tires get me through it, but I wasn't comfortable with it. And then the rock. So after, your second, third time going down, you're really gun shy. And the only way that I could get up through that stuff is I had to stay on the throttle to get up through it. But it was getting out of control, and that was because I didn't have a line picked. And if you don't have a line picked, big mistake, you're just going by what's right in front of you. And that's what I did. I was just looking down, not looking up to, let my inner mechanisms work. So I'll stick to the easier stuff for a little bit. Get myself patched up. And there's only a bracket, I think. Just a bracket missing on the bike. The one thing that I forgot to do is put it in off-road mode. That just gets rid of that ABS and traction control. And the first time I fell, when I got on the brake a little bit, well, the ABS engaged, and we know where we go from there. Well, I guess it was kind of a successful test. I've mounted this Rox Wasp right there, and the bike was down 4 times, and the last time was really hard, and that little thing stayed right there, so I know that's going to work. On this side, what do we got? We got just a broken bracket there, but that's minor. I think there's a clamp goes down in there. Yeah, and that just fits in there, and then that has to roll back down and straightened out. But it felt like the brake lever here was in a little bit. No. Might need to be pulled out just a bit, but scraped up there. That really, you can see scraped up there, did its job. when I went down the fourth time. So that's in a little bit. You see the gap on that one. And then you see this one. This has to come out. Anyway, we'll sort that out.